Bobby, when you talk loudly and you look at your dad.
PCDI's intensive teaching methods extend into the home, too.
Hey, Bob.
What are you doing?
Here, Bobby, using an earphone, is helped through a walkie-talkie to hold a normal conversation.
Look, goldfish.
I love goldfish.
I love goldfish.
Would you like
With
some
practice,
goldfish when you're done
it's
putting
hoped
the food
speech
away?
will grow less robotic, more natural, even spontaneous.
Juice, too.
I'm done.
And then...
You did a great job, Bob. Would you like some goldfish?
Yes,
Here you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You did a great job, Bobby. All right, good guy. Bob, good job. You can have a piece of chocolate muffin, okay? You know what? It worked fine. It was just the shore. He's still not getting the variety, you know. So maybe we can just practice that around the house, saying sure instead of okay.
Right.
Bob, would you like some muffin?
Yes, sure.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, I see something yellow.
The flowers on the umbrella.
At 6 months, Karen was adopted by the Nelson family.
Exactly right.
Sue Nelson.
Karen was very normal in many areas and yet had no communication skills. She couldn't speak, she couldn't communicate with people, and yet she could say words, but they didn't mean anything to her. When she was 4, she entered the Princeton Child Development Institute, and they began immediately working on her behavior, which had become quite violent by this time. She was hitting her head with her fist up to 1,000 times in a 10-minute period, just slugging herself. She would kick herself in the shins. She had broken her bones in her leg. She had punched herself in the sides and done kidney damage. She had damaged all parts of her body. What they did at the school was to teach her you get attention for doing positive things. And they started to reinforce the absence of these behaviors. And when Karen's hands would be down and she would be quiet, they would give her a lot of attention, give her a food reward, and make a big deal out of her being good.
Karen, touch your shirt. Very good girl. What a good girl. You touched your shirt. Wonderful. Karen, where do you live? Karen, where do you live? Karen, clap your hands. Good. Wonderful, Karen. What a good girl, Karen. Karen, what's your little brother's name? Karen, what's your little brother's name? Peter. Peter, wonderful, Karen. You said Peter. How good for you.
She really was in danger of taking her own life with the banging she was doing with her head, or losing an eye or something. So they patted her so that then they could work with her and she wouldn't hurt herself.
You did touch the wall. Good for you.
They gradually removed piece by piece of the padding until she had these large padded mitts, which were just hanging from her wrists. They weren't even around her hands, but she needed the security of knowing that they were there. Even today, if you see Karen, she has a bracelet that she wears. And sometimes it's around her wrist and sometimes it's around her hand. And that's her security blanket. That's what's left of being padded from head to toe.
Now 16, Karen still attends school at PCDI. Although fewer girls than boys have autism, girls are often more severely disabled. Teenagers here are taught basic skills to help them take control of their own lives and survive in the outside world. Several times a day, Karen and her peers are encouraged to practice the art of conversation.
I also had breakfast this morning.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Oh, I had Cheerios. This weekend, I went and saw Bethany play field hockey.
That's great. What'd you do?
Well, I cheered Bethany so she would get a goal.
That's right. Thanks for talking to me.
And she did get a goal.
Yes.
Karen, it's been good talking to you, too.
So, Karen, what are you going to be doing next?
Originally diagnosed as autistic retarded, Karen might have ended up sedated, like so many others, in an institution. She and other youths, some of whom have jobs, live in a group home. Run by PCDI, Mountain View strives to keep them active and involved. In a variety of ways, they're constantly encouraged to break out of the isolation of autism.
Hey, Karen.
What?
Do you want to play a game later?
Sure, we'll give it to play.
I'd love to play that part.
I think it sounds like fun.
What time should we play?
Let's play after cleanup.
That. What time should we play?
Let's play after cleanup.
That sounds like a good time to play.
Where should we play?
Let's play in the tea room.
That's a good place to play.
I think we'll have a good time.
Me too. Thanks for playing the game.
Me too. Thank you're welcome. I'll see you later.
Okay, well, what we'd like to do is in a little while, I'd like you to practice it again. And the next time that you do it, I want you to try it without your sentences, okay?
Hey, Dad.
Yes.
Let's look up the word dictionary. Will you please check it?
Sure. And what's another word for beautiful?
Gorgeous and pretty.
Oh, those are two good words for beautiful. You're so smart.
Thank you.
That's great. You know who looks very beautiful today?
I do look beautiful.
You do. You look absolutely beautiful today.
Thank you.
But home for the weekend with her sister and brothers is still Karen's favorite place to be.
Run up, run up. Yay! Try again, under your leg, under your leg. There you go, run up, slam dunk. All right. You got it in.
Good job.
Good, good. All right.
I remember the doctor telling me, well, this is lifelong, and there is no such thing as a cure. You're going to hear a lot of things out there. Don't believe any of them. You're going to hear about mega vitamin theories, and you're going to hear about behavior modification, and you're going to hear this and that theory and the other thing. And, you know, I'm here to tell you that this is a lifelong disability, and there's you know, no such thing as a cure for it.
There's at least 5 children that I know personally who've been through a very aggressive course of treatment and education, and they have subsequently lost their diagnosis. They no longer meet the criteria for autism.
She kept telling me about these home programs and how the kids were getting better, and it was 40 hours a week, and my sister had been drilling this kind of into my head for about 6 months. And I remember the doctor when she was giving us the diagnosis said, what we recommend is 2 half-hour sessions of speech per week and 1 half-hour of OT. And that was going to get rid of the cheek rubbing, the half-hour a week of OT. And it was at that point that suddenly it clicked in my head what my sister had been telling me all those months. And I thought, they're telling me that 1.5 hours a week is going to help this child? I mean, he was just so far from us. So we just left. My husband, I just stood up and said, thank you, I have to go. And Roy took my cue and we just left.
Candace immediately called therapist Bridget Taylor. Thanks to the work of behavioral psychologist Ivar Lovas in California, parents were growing aware of the importance of intense treatment as early as possible. It was the end of June. Tori would be 3 in October. There was no time to lose.
Our goal very early on in treatment is to teach very specific directions so that the child is able to learn systematically the teaching process, and we're able to teach responses.
Do this.
Usually the earlier responses might take a long time for the child to master. So for example, I know it took him over 400 trials to learn to imitate a very simple response.
Do this.
We spent weeks trying to teach him to do this, to wave, and he just couldn't do it. To tap on the table. A lot of those very simple imitative things he couldn't do. But once he got it, after a couple of weeks, then he just kind of took off. And he learned we could do any action and he could imitate it.